Hello, adults. This is Pastor Mike coming to you on Wednesday, getting close to Christmas. And I thought I'd have the tree in the background to give us a little bit of a festive feel. I guess there's an angel on the very top, so we're being looked over by the angels. I have just come from talking with a family in preparation for a funeral this coming Sunday. Our friend Lauren, we're going to celebrate his life and give thanks for that life and offer him to the Lord for safekeeping until we can be with him, with God. That's really what funerals are, in my opinion, is a time to remember, a time to see a life in the context of God and of God's people, and also very human. Our connections are deep with each other. And then the church is another layer of that. Meeting with a family prior to a funeral is one of my favorite things to do, which may sound kind of strange, but it's great because I get to know the person better than I could have known just in church, just shaking hands at the end of a service or whatever other ways. The family helps me get a more well-rounded. So it's kind of it's an honor and privilege of getting to know someone that I kind of knew, but it fills in more details. And I carry this honoring of the person, their life, their ups and downs, their challenges, their example. I cherish that. And I think that when we look in terms of the preaching at a funeral service, it has a lot to do with the life of the person being a text, an honored, holy text for that day. We're used to reading the Psalms. We're used to reading the Gospels at times of funeral. But I think that the person's life is like a text. A human life is a wonderful, beautiful invention, new in the world. And when it's over, it behooves us to recognize what's the message in this life. What are we being instructed, to do better at, to strive to recognize qualities or even lifestyle of the person that we've lost. Yes, during a funeral, the person's life is a text. It is a message from God to us. Yeah. And so we want to lift up that life and give thanks for that life, and also gently lift the person to God for eternal safekeeping. And, funerals also have the element of bringing people together to, strengthen the bonds between us, the living. Strengthen the bonds and to tell stories and give appreciation, give condolence. There's just so many things. And of course, we are now in COVID, and that is making things like that harder. We have to be careful even as we reach out to the to the family. Yeah, so it comes down to how can the music relate to the life? How can the prayers tie in to this person that we loved and is gone? Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have a Christian funeral and be able to say, this was a child of God. Yes. In this particular case, there's going to be a going to the cemetery the same day to place the remains in the earth, in the soil. And that's kind of a final touch, isn't it? That, yep, we're starting a new chapter without the person. And when I lived in the South, there was a much stronger tradition of people dwelling at the graveside, not rushing away too fast. I don't know if it's still that way, but back in the 70s, when I was down there, families would hang around a little bit, and families would throw the dirt into the grave and on top of the casket, hang around as the soil is being filled in and tamped down, and maybe some sod is also laid down. Yeah, it's a good tradition. And thankfully, my family, when I lost my grandmother, was able to do the same thing. Luckily, it was a beautiful day. And it was so solemn and so wholesome and so good to just stand in silence and watch the workers prepare the soil, lay down the sod. And a very prayerful experience. I was quite surprised by it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I just wanted, and if any of you ever have any questions about funerals or like that, yeah, go ahead, talk to me. Yeah, I'd love to tell you about it or talk to you about it. Yeah. Okay. Well, hope you're having a good Advent, and Christmas is coming, and a new year is coming too. God bless, friends.